with me.
Welcome back, folks. I knew I shouldn't have brought those guys meatballs and lasagna for breakfast. I don't know where they came up with, was that Tiny Tim? Yeah, I'm dating myself. Here's a guy that's even older than me, Gene Pastula. Hey there, Gino, how you doing, buddy?
I'm well.
You got me by a couple years.
Yeah, I do.
And you're proud of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had a chance to hear me talk about interest rates and product diversification, but you've taught me a lot about product diversification. I don't think there was another time, at least in recent memory, where product diversification seemingly is even more important than it's been almost as long as I can remember, simply because you have a situation where the stock market is at record highs, the bond market, outside of a couple of basis points, yields are at record lows, and nothing good really can happen from here in many people's minds. Not necessarily my mind, but I mean, I read it's 5-to-1, 10-to-1 articles from pundits saying interest rates are going up, so if you own bonds, you're getting screwed. And the stock market, CAPE, is 60, 70% overvalued, so if you own stocks, you're getting screwed. Now, they may be right, they may be wrong. I don't choose sides. This is why people like you and I focus more on strategy than on trying to make predictions, because usually when people are making predictions, they're guessing, and guessing isn't what you want when it's talking about your retirement. But where do you sit on all of this?
Well, that's a loaded question. Actually, I was thinking when you say about making prediction, whenever I make a prediction, I'm always wrong. And if I back it up with money, I lose. So, so that's why I'm obviously focused on the areas, the strategies that are more predictable, and there's some institution willing to back up, what they're offering and promise to deliver. And,
well, you run the website industry, Safe sure. Money Monitor. That's your mantra: safe money first.
Right.
And it's not that you're opposed to the riskier stuff, but if you build your base of safety first, then you don't really have to worry that much about the markets in the long run. It's just in the short run that they get really volatile. Yeah,
and so the idea is, and of course you were alluding to it in the last segment, that if you can diversify not by which stocks you buy or which bonds you buy or how much of each, but if you diversify by product type, and of course that's where the insurance industry comes in, at least from my perspective, that here you have an institution that is sound, highly regulated, and actively overseen by, insurance departments in every state in the country. So you have a situation there where they are offering a result, in essence. I mean, if we're talking about retirement income, they are saying to their customers, if you give us a X amount of dollars, if you give us your safe money, we will, in return for income, we will deliver, and we will tell you exactly what we will deliver in income, and we will guarantee it as long as you need it, which is as long as you're alive. Now, the interesting thing about that is that you can now not worry at all about what interest rates are. They have nothing to do with it. It's only the insurance company that has to be concerned, and they don't worry about whether the bond is worth less or more because of an interest rate change, because all the bonds they have are going to be held to maturity. So they know exactly what the result is that they're going to get out of their portfolio. Now,
that's an important point, though. Let's talk about that, because there's a difference between a bond that is held until it matures and someone who's putting their money into a portfolio of bonds. Explain.
Sure. Well, or an individual who buys a bond today at, I don't know, what a corporate bond, 3?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
He buys a corporate bond today at 3%, and the interest rates go up by, over the next, say, 4 years or so, by a couple hundred basis points, which they could do.
So from 3%, the new bonds being issued would be 5%.
Which makes their bond worth almost nothing. I mean, not almost nothing, but a lot less.
Well, sure, because I could, if I had to sell my bond in the open market, somebody's going to want to pay me significantly less for it because they can go out and buy a new bond at 5.
That's right. So to them, that risk, if they need to cash in the money or what have you, they're out there on their own, and that risk is there. The insurance company, on the other hand, buys bonds to match exactly each risk that they're taking. And the risk that they're taking is that they've promised you that they're going to deliver X amount of income every month for as long as you live, no matter what. And so they purchase their investments and assets to back that up accordingly. And it's called liability matching. Is it liability matching?
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
True.
Yeah. And so they're not going to sell that bond portfolio. They got to value it on their their balance sheet, financial statements, and what have you. But in reality, it's going to match their actuarial expectations. And so now you have a situation where they can afford to pay you an income each month on the money that you gave them, with the idea that probably, or on average, they're going to pay out all the principal and some of the interest that they earn. So you're going to get principal plus interest on your investment by, say, life expectancy. I'm getting in the weeds here, but
so the whole point is, if you
can't do that with your own money,
exactly.
Because if you live 2 or 3 years past life expectancy and you're out of money, you're into cat food, right?
Exactly.
But the insurance company guarantees it can go on forever. My aged mother, who just turned 94 yesterday, we wished her happy birthday, took her out for lunch, and she was actually in pretty good shape. So she's concerned, but she has a large annuity that's one of the in fact, all of her income is annuities. She has Social Security, which is annuity. Yeah. She has the civil service survivor benefit from my dad, which is an annuity. And then we bought a private annuity and put those all together. It doesn't matter how much is the value of that annuity anymore.
She's already lived probably 10 years beyond her life expectancy.
She can live another 10 years, and it could, we get a statement every year that shows us, but it could go to zero, and it doesn't matter because she's going to continue to get her income.
Recent study, actually it's not so recent anymore now that I think about it, and I forget exactly, maybe it came from Wharton or from Nationwide or one of the studies that I read. I recall the number though. And it suggested that you would be able to fund your retirement at a discount of about 45% by adding the diversification of an annuity. So the question is, what do you do with that other 45%? That if you've saved that much in your retirement plan, is that not where the legacy assets come from? Possibly.
Or future increases in income.
We'll take a quick break on that note and come back with what the Society of Actuaries are saying.